Hello and welcome to Thought for November the 6th. Our readings are 1 Chronicles chapter 35, Hosea chapter 3 and Acts chapters 18 and 19. And our thought is, no Passover like it. Our Chronicles reading today tells us of how a Passover celebration was organised by King Josiah. Remember our thoughts from yesterday. And that Passover, it's described, no Passover like it had been kept in Israel since the days of Samuel the prophet. 2 Chronicles chapter 35 verse 18. Josiah was highly thought of, but 13 years later he got unwisely involved in a conflict between Assyria and Egypt and was fatally wounded. There was great sadness. Jeremiah also uttered a lament for Josiah. In verse 25 we read, "And Jeremiah must have been a young man then." After his death it took less than 23 years and the reigns of 4 weak and unspiritual kings before Jerusalem and the temple were utterly destroyed. Is there an underlying reason for this collapse of spirituality? The nation and the people had seemed to reach such spiritual heights with such a Passover and a righteous king. The probable answer lies in the detail of today's chapter. In keeping that impressive Passover, it was the king, the priests and the Levites who provided the sacrificial offerings, which totaled 37,000 lambs and 3,800 bulls, Josiah himself providing most of them from the king's possession, we read in verse 7. So this great Passover did not cost the ordinary people anything. Was it no more than a great free feast for most of them? Prophets, led by Isaiah, had repeatedly warned the people that they must have the right attitude in approaching God. You meet him who joyfully works righteousness, those who remember you in your ways. Behold, all our righteous deeds are like a polluted garment, wrote Isaiah in chapter 64. After Josiah's death, the people were led by kings, all of whom did evil in the sight of the Lord. And the people likewise were exceedingly unfaithful. God provided his son Jesus as a sacrifice for us. How fully do we appreciate this? Does it affect our conscience, our hearts? If our appreciation is only intellectual, a ritual in which our heart is not meaningfully involved, the final outcome will be a great disaster, as it was in those days. Will we not be delivered from the disaster facing our world today? And how soon will that be? Well, thank you once more for joining us for Thought for the Day, when we can think upon that word, and knowing that that word is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path.